Hey, beautiful. Today, I just want to share my experience. I recently got back from vacation. I went to a resort in Southern California and I went as a raw vegan. I stayed there as a raw vegan and I returned as a raw vegan. And I just want to share with you a little bit about what I did and what worked for me, and hopefully inspire you to do the same and feel like, yeah, I can go to a resort and stay raw vegan, no problem. I'll also be sharing photos of some of the food, pretty much all the food I think that I ate while I was there. So, one thing that I did that I really encourage you to do, and it's, this is one of the duh things, right? It's like, decide that this is something you want to do. Decide that you want to stay raw. Be really clear about that. Every day I say that I'm a low fat raw vegan as a bit of a mantra. Lissa at Raw Food Romance inspired me to start doing that. And it's nice to reaffirm that every day and keep me crystal clear about how I'm going to eat for the day. I also map out the specifics as much as I can with a food diary, which is something that Tanny Raw I know talks a lot about, and Lissa does as well, and many of the other successful raw vegans. So those two things. So really just being sure and committed to staying raw throughout your vacation. That's very, very important. Number two would be come prepared. So I was driving. If you're flying, still you need to be prepared. I've flown many places and stayed raw. Either way, go ahead and bring a cooler or bring some snacks in your backpack. What I traveled with was some cut up watermelon that I just munched on along the drive as I was hungry. And if you are driving, y'all, very important tip, don't just cut your watermelon in half and expect to spoon it out while driving. I have done this. I have done this more times than I would recommend doing. Y'all, it's not safe if you are the driver to eat watermelon that way. It's just not a good idea. Okay, for many different reasons, I could really go into it, but I think I could probably spend 10 minutes talking about watermelon stories in the car. So, bottom line, chunk it up, eat it in little pieces. Yes, I know it's not as good that way. I like eating melons as a bowl too, but take one for the team, y'all. Respect the other drivers, stay safe, and chunk up your freaking watermelon if that's what you're gonna bring. I recommend it as a travel food because it is so hydrating. It's sweet. It travels well if you have a cooler or something like that. Just, be warned that you can get kind of light and floaty with it, especially if you're driving through the desert in the summer, as I've done many times this summer. Have something like cucumber or lettuce or another type of fruit to help kind of ground you out a little bit. Even some healthy fats will do as you come into dinner time or whatever time you start incorporating fats. So bring travel snacks. I did watermelon. On the way back, I also had some honeydew melon that was cut up. I had some cherries in the cooler as well. I ended up just sticking with the watermelon though, because y'all, I'm a really simple eater most of the time. I know I have all these recipe books and I'm always coming to y'all with crazy recipes in the kitchen, many more of those to come, but I really do like to keep it simple. So I also brought some food that I wasn't finished with before I left for the trip. Now that's the beauty of road trips. You can do that. So I brought a head of butterhead lettuce. I brought a container of cherry tomatoes. That would also be great. Car snacking, I actually used that as a snack at the pool, along with some cut up cucumber. I used as a snack at the pool. Could have eaten it in the car also had I wanted it. I brought some flax celery pulp crackers as well. Now, I did plan to bring those because I knew, sometimes you get like kind of a weak dinner salad, and that's one way to, fill out those meals where you're eating a raw vegan meal somewhere that's not used to preparing raw vegan meals, and understanding that no, like, I want an enormous salad, the biggest salad you've ever made or even seen in your life. That's what I want. So yeah, so those made great snacks, the tomatoes, the cucumbers, the crackers. I also brought a jar of tahini because, again, I was gonna go to restaurants and not, I could have made some dressings ahead of time, but this is what I chose to do. Instead, I just brought some tahini, nice little drizzleable tahini. That way I could just ask for lemon on the side of my salad. I didn't have to go into the whole dressing situation at restaurants. And I brought a knife and a cutting board. And I believe I brought some dish towels for cleanliness purposes in the car and elsewhere. I brought a spoon for eating in the room. That was particularly helpful. I would recommend bringing like a personal cutlery set, just like fork, knife, spoon, because you never know in a hotel room. They don't typically leave cutlery in there for you, in my experience. So those are good things to have. And then what else? So, I brought watermelons. So like whole watermelons. I brought 2, and this was for like a long weekend trip. I figured I would eat maybe half per day I was there, and I did end up doing that for the most part. So that worked out really well. I would just have half for my first meal of the day. And I also ordered room service just to see what they had. Like, what is their fruit plate? Like, what do they think? Of course, y'all, it was on the smaller size. I probably, if I'd eaten the fruit plate as a meal unto itself, I would have needed to order more. But I just ordered it more out of curiosity than anything else. And I also ordered the green juice that was on the menu. I believe it was different kinds of greens and celery and sweetened with pineapple. It was pretty good. So I was able to have that, have my watermelon. I think I ate some leftover from the road, and then I enjoyed the fruit plate. So again, I ordered a room service salad out of curiosity. What do they think a garden salad is here? And it was quite small. Again, I would have needed to order probably 3 of them to have the size salad that I like to eat in the evening. But it was nice, and I enjoyed it with 2 really large heirloom tomatoes that I brought along with me. And I just drizzled some tahini on it for the dressing with some, I don't think I got lemon that time. I forgot to ask. There was some avocado on the side. It was funny, y'all. I ordered the salad, and then I called back. I was like, oh, can I get avocado on the side? Because I forgot. They don't know I want avocado on the salad. It didn't come with avocado on it. And then I remembered after that the lemon, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to call a third time to try and get lemon, so I just toughed it out with my resort salad. And yeah, it was very good. It was very fresh. I also went to dinner 2 nights at the hotel restaurant. They had a Mediterranean restaurant, and y'all, simply ordering what you want is so easy at any restaurant. Particularly ones that are more salad friendly. I mean, you could probably do this at a steakhouse too. You're gonna get different results based on where you are, and also what kind of restaurant you're at, but also where in the world you are. So I happen to be in Southern California in the summertime, aka lots of fresh vegetables. So I said, I didn't get into like, oh, I'm raw vegan, or I'm gluten free, or I'm vegan, or I'm plant based, or here's why, or I have these health issues, or I'm spiritually vegan, or I'm fruitarian, or blah blah blah. Like, no. What I said was, hey, would it be possible to get a very large salad with all the fresh raw vegetables that you have? And he was like, like mixed greens. And I was like, yeah, whatever's fresh back there and green, lettuces, mixed greens, whatever. And then any and all raw vegetables that you have. Well, would fruit be okay on it? I said, sure, a little bit of fruit, not a problem. On the side of that, he was like, do you want any salad dressing? I said, no, thanks. On the side, can I just get some lemon? And what showed up, and I also asked for avocado on it, what showed up on 2 different nights were these huge bowls of salad that actually were big enough for me. Awesome. And a bed of really fresh California greens, of lettuces that I had never had before, some of them that were really, really tasty, huge leaves. Like, they didn't chop it up enough, which was funny for me, like eating it with a fork, and I'm like yeah, but it wasn't a big deal. And it had some like heirloom cherry tomatoes on there. They had some slices of orange, some slices of green apple. They had cucumber on there, and the most beautiful rainbow cauliflowers, purple, green, and yellow, like Mardi Gras colored cauliflower. Gorgeous. And really fresh, delicious avocado, California avocado. With the first night, they brought me just like a few lemons cut in half on the side, and that was epic. That was amazing. And I think the second night, they brought me lemon wedges on the side, and that was epic. And offered fresh cracked pepper, and I took them up on that. And it was really, really delicious. The second time I went in, they even brought me a little fruit plate before dinner. They tend to bring like little like aperitif, like a complimentary appetizer, because we didn't order any appetizers. So I think the second night, the appetizer was like this curried shrimp thing, and they were like, we figured you probably didn't eat shrimp, so we brought you a fruit plate. Again, I didn't go into the vegan thing. I didn't make it complicated. I'm gluten-free, I'm this or that. There's nothing wrong with doing that, but also, don't feel like you gotta explain yourself and tell them your whole 30-minute long health journey since you were 13 or 3 or 33 or whatever. Yeah, you can just ask for what you want, not use any of the labels, keep it simple, and you can actually get what you want. And be kind and be calm, and don't be stressed out about it, and trust that it will work out. So that was dinner at the restaurant at the resort. And then I treated myself to an adventure into Los Angeles and went to my favorite raw vegan restaurant that I found in the United States called Wild Living Foods. Very, very tasty, fun cuisine. And I ordered some different dishes there, some jalapeno poppers that were poppin', super good, some bruschetta. I was feeling kind of an Italian vibe for some reason, so just went with that. And bruschetta is something that I've kind of missed, so had some of that. And also the very best, I think the jalapeno poppers were maybe the best, but then really enjoyed my entree. It was a kelp noodle, a marinated kelp noodle with tarragon e pepe, or not sure how to say that, tarragon e pepe. maybe you know how to say it, but it had some truffle oil on it, which is like essence of truffles. Truffles are mushrooms, and y'all, I am such a sucker for the truffles. I love them. I'm not talking about chocolate truffles, I mean mushrooms. And they are not psychoactive, not psychedelic psychoactive, if you know what I'm saying. They are just straight up like gourmet excellence mushrooms. And there was an ever so slight hint, a little, the truffle flavor was there, but it wasn't overwhelming. And in so many truffle dishes, the flavor is like, oh my god, like overwhelming, just truffle, truffle, truffle. No, they did it just right, and it was just like harmonizing in a symphony of other beautiful flavors. And the pasta, the cup noodles were served warm. They were so creamy. They were so comforting. It's not often that you have a raw vegan meal and it's like, oh my god, this is like comfort food. Well, that was like I wanted to curl up in a blanket in the mountains next to a wood burning stove in like a onesie with slippers, and like really, y'all, it was so comforting. It was so nice, and it had a nice little side salad with it. And then I went with my mom, and she ordered a beautiful plate of golden pancakes that were made with plantain and flaxseed, and I got to taste those. They had like some kind of sweet cream butter on there that was raw, like not butter, but like buttery. And it was so good. It was like the most delicious, like maybe nut-based cream. I'm not sure how they did it, but they freaking did it, and it was awesome. And then later for dessert, I got a raw pecan bar from Mother's Market in Southern California. Awesome market, y'all. Go there. They have lots of raw foods there. And I got a little piece of chocolate mousse cake, also very delicious. Now, a note about the raw vegan restaurants. Do they use salt and oil? Yes. Are those ingredients I normally eat? No. Did I survive? No. This is the ghost of Taylor Norris coming to you on YouTube. Taylor Norris died from eating salt and oil on a raw vegan diet on her birthday weekend trip to Southern California. I'm so sorry to tell you. Just kidding, y'all. No, it was fine, okay? Now, it was kind of trippy. It was like I ate the jalapeno popper and I was like, whoa, this is salt. Whoa. Like, it was so weird after not eating salt to have it. And then I adjusted, and it was like the rest of the food didn't taste like gross or weird or anything to me. Like, it just tasted like pretty good. And it didn't taste overly salted. Sometimes when I eat salt, my ankles and my lower legs will kind of swell up if I go in the car after plane ride or something like that. That did not happen because I only drove like an hour after being at that restaurant, and I went for like a 2-hour walk after I ate at that restaurant, so that wasn't a big deal. The next day, I did notice that I was puffy and retaining water. I went to hot yoga, and they have like the full length mirrors there, and I could see like around my eyes was puffy. And personally, I don't like that. I don't think that's attractive. My face was puffier, my cheekbones and stuff, and my face shape wasn't like as pronounced. I was a little bit of a moon face, just a little bit. And everything, I felt a little bit like of a body bloat situation. Like I probably looked 5 or 10 pounds maybe heavier than I normally look, which again, I like to look light and lean, feel light and lean. So that's why, is part of the reason why I don't eat salt on a day-to-day basis. And it's like, if I can enjoy my food without salting it, then, why salt it? So that's a bit of an aside, but it's important enough to discuss it. So yeah, I really enjoyed my meal at the raw food restaurant, Wild Living Foods. Highly recommend it if you're in Los Angeles. Check it out. Check out Mother's Market. And yeah, on the way home, I cut up more watermelon. I cut up a honeydew melon that I bought. I brought along the cherries, and like I said, I just ended up eating watermelon and drinking water and keeping it really simple. But y'all, you can do raw vegan at a resort. That's how. So one, decide it's what you want to do. You want to stay raw. Bam, you're clear. That's what you're doing. Okay, now do it. Number two, come prepared. Bring some fruit and veg. Bring your knife, your cutting board, personal cutlery, a cooler if you need it, ice in the cooler if you need it, that kind of thing. Number three, ask for what you want at the restaurants, room service, etc. You don't have to go into your whole life story, healing journey, unless you want to, but y'all, they're just waiting on you. They probably don't want to hear it. Like, they will ask you more questions and you will like get the vibe that they want to hear it. But in terms of like ordering your salad, you don't have to like explain to them your 20-year backstory in order to get a big salad with raw veggies on it. I'm just saying. And number four, look in the area, see if there are fresh markets or raw vegan restaurants, any kind of restaurant or cafe you want to go to. If you're into that, if you're not into that, then don't worry about it. Don't go. I'm a super foodie. Like, I love trying new restaurants, and I'd been to that restaurant before, so I knew it was off the chain. So that's why I wanted to go. And it inspires me. So, and it reminds me why I don't eat salt and oil. It's like, yo, this is why you don't do that. So it was great to have that experience. I'm really grateful. And like I said, I hope this inspires and empowers you to go on vacation as a raw vegan and freaking own it and love it and have so much fun. So that's all for today. Like this video if you like it, subscribe for more, and I will be coming back to you soon. Much love. Thanks for watching, and namaste.